while to find the cabin. When finally we got in there, we untied her. She passed out. Mr. McCord had to carry her to the car, and then she slept all the way back.
Oh, what an awful experience.
No wonder she looks like she does. I've never seen her so pale. I just hope and pray she's all right.
Mr. McCord, you all right?
Fine. No, not really. I'm not all right. And I won't be all right until I have some word that Nola is all right.
Listen, why don't we have somebody look at that bruise now, okay, while we're just waiting?
No, I'm fine. Thank you. I allowed you to dress the wound. It's fine now. I'm not leaving here until I hear something about Nola.
Why is it taking them so long?
Ma.
How long does it take for somebody to find out if somebody's sick or not?
Come here. Over here and sit down, okay? You want some coffee?
No, I don't want any coffee. I want to know if Nola's all right.
All right, what do you make of all this?
Well, with a fever of 103, blood pressure reading that low, white blood cell count as high as it is, and severe dehydration, my first guess would have to be gastroenteritis.
Right, we got a pretty sick young woman on our hands here. Let's get her in a private room and onto an IV.
Right away.
We were lucky to get her here when we did. Very lucky.
Mr. McCord.
I thank you anyway. Mr. McCord, really, there's no reason to worry. Nola's getting the best possible care.
Hillary, do you know why they're taking so long?
Well, Eddie and Kelly are just running all the necessary tests.
What kind of tests? What for?
It's nothing to get worried about. It's just routine tests when anybody's admitted into emergency.
It's all my fault, Anthony.
It's not your fault, Mr. McCord. It's Jamie Loomis and Silas Crocker's fault. That's who fault it is. And if they ever show up in Springfield again, they lose.
What happened to them?
They got away.
They got away. The police don't have Silas Crocker and Jamie Loomis. Who is Jamie Loomis?
Jamie
anyway?
Loomis is Silas Crocker's buddy, and no, we didn't call the police.
You didn't call them? Why not? They're criminals.
Well, you see, the most important thing was saving Nola at the time. I mean, if Loomis and Crocker got away, well, there was no other choice.
Well, I understand that, but Nola's here now. These men should be caught. The police should be called in. Why don't you call Lieutenant Wyatt, Tony, and talk to him about what's going down?
No, don't. You see, they've probably got out of the country by now. Besides, what difference does it make? The only thing that matters is Nola. Everything else is inconsequential.
Oh, Ed, what is it?
Sorry to keep you all waiting so long, but we had to run some tests.
Well?
Nola has gastroenteritis.
What is that?
It's a disorder of the intestinal tract. It's usually caused by bad food, bad air, and impure water.
Those are the exact conditions of that hideous cabin we found Nola in.
When you found her, was she able to eat or drink anything?
No, she said she couldn't hold anything down.
Oh, well, what is this? And what do you do about it? And is it serious? Can I go see her?
We're going to put her in a private room. We're going to hook her up to an antibiotic IV, and then we're going to hope that will fight the infection.
Hope? You mean you don't know? Now, is this antibiotic going to bring the fever down?
Yes, it should, but it's going to take some time. We'll keep you all posted as to her condition. I don't want to worry any of you unduly, but Nola is a very sick young woman. Nola's quite disoriented, but that's sort of a normal side effect to all of this. It's also possible that she'll have very little memory for the last 48 hours or so.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, well, I think it's good she doesn't remember that hole that Crocker was keeping her in. I mean, the place stunk so bad you couldn't even breathe. It was full of rats and garbage.
Please, Tony, please, not anymore. You know, that Silas Crocker must be some kind of madman to keep someone in a place like that.
That's exactly what Silas Crocker is, a madman. If he had suspected for one moment that the police had been brought in, I'm sure he would have killed Nola on the spot.
Well, you know, when Alan was kidnapped, Hope didn't want to talk to the police either, but they were the ones who eventually saved his life.
That may have been the case with Mr. Spaulding, Dr. Bauer, but I knew the personalities involved. Besides, I'll always be eternally thankful to Anthony. Without his help, I never would have found and saved Nola. We both owe him our lives.
Ed, please just tell me the truth. How is Nola?
Her condition is very serious, but I think Kelly is handling everything very well. He's a talented doctor. He's giving her the best of care.
Oh, it's strange, isn't it? After all I went through with her last summer.
Yeah. Now, Mr. McCord really doesn't look too hard. I'm going to go talk to him. Mr. McCord, As long as you're here, why don't you let one of our emergency room doctors take a look at you?
The only thing that'll make me feel better, Dr. Bauer, is the knowledge that Nola is out of danger and that she's going to be all right.
We're doing everything we can.
It's all my fault.
What is?
Her illness. If anything happens to Nola, my life won't be worth living.
Mr. McCord, I am sure that she's getting the best care possible, and Dr. Power and his staff are doing the best they can.
That may not be enough.
B, you've got to believe me that I had no idea that Nola had been kidnapped. Really, you've got to believe me.
I believe you. Please, nobody blames you, Floyd.
Well, I guess I'm just blaming myself because I feel that I've been so pig-headed about it.
Look, nobody had any way of knowing that Nola had been kidnapped and that they were holding her for ransom. Oh, my God, why does she have to go through this? You know, the first thing she asked when she came home was, "Where is my baby? How is Kelly?" Oh, how is she? Is the fever down?
The antibiotics haven't worked yet. I've assigned a full-time nurse to stay with her. It's still early. She's only been on the new medication for less than an hour.
What if she doesn't respond?
Then we'll change the antibiotic. Mr. McCord, she's very weak. She really doesn't have the strength or reserves to fight back with yet. As soon as there's any change, I'll let you know.
Kelly, you've got to save Nola.
We're doing everything we can.
I know, but we just can't lose Nola.
Why don't you go home and get some rest? I promise I will call you if we hear any news.
No, I'm going to stay right here, and nothing you can say is going to talk me out of it, so don't try.
I'm a little worried about Mr. McCord. He doesn't look very well. I think he's taking this harder than anyone.
You know something? I think he's in love with Nola. I mean, all the way on the way to save her, he kept saying his life wouldn't be worth anything if he couldn't save Nola. I mean, what do you think of that, Mr. McCord in love with Nola?
He looks so alone right now. I'm gonna go over and talk to him.
Yeah, I think I will. See him. Mr. McCord, did you get hold of Mrs. Renfield?
Yes. I had her prepare Nola's room. Put flowers in it. Get it ready for when she comes home.
Good.
Anthony, if anything ever happens to Nola, I'll never forgive myself. My life won't be worth living. I let her down when she needed me the most.
Listen, come on. Well, you did more to help Nola than anybody did. I mean, I know that now. Appreciate it. Forever.
All my life, I never let anyone get close to me because I knew if they did, they'd be hurt. I tried so hard to keep Nola from getting close, but she did, Anthony. And now I realize my life is cursed. Just like if anyone who gets too close to me, their life would be cursed.
What do you mean, curse?
B.
Yes, how is she?
We put her on a new antibiotic as a result of the lab culture report that came back. It's still too soon to tell if it's working, but I have every confidence that it will.
Can I come and see her? I really want to see her, Kelly.
Yes, the immediate family, but I have to warn you before you go in. She's got a very high fever and she's hallucinating. Some pretty terrifying things from her past.
I'd like to see her, too, if I could.
I'm sorry, Miss McCord, but hospital policy dictates that only members of the immediate family can go in when the patient's in such serious condition.
Kelly, listen, what if Mr. McCord takes my place? Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Kelly, I'd like to see Nola, too.
Floyd, I can't let you in. She's real upset, and she's talking a lot about Kelly Louise. I think if she saw you, it would just upset her. Speak.
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm pretty wiped out, but glad to have my mind occupied. Talk to you later.
What are you thinking about?
Just how quickly things change.
Floyd, you know, gastroenteritis can cause a person to hallucinate and relive experiences that are unpleasant.
But Kelly said only the immediate family. Mr. McCord isn't the immediate.
I don't think it'd be such a good idea for you to see Nola right now, Floyd. The last time you were together, you had a pretty ugly fight.
Derek, you seem to forget that Nola is the mother of my child. And because of that, we'll always have close family ties.